Hey, what's happening, my people? Um, maybe I'm quick, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Try to be. Uh, just had something on my mind. So I'm in the Supreme Court, and I mean I don't know who. I don't really have people following me on Reddit. Really, I went on Reddit to bait, um, hoping I could bait these guys into more online abuse, and it worked like a charm. Uh, I laugh because it's also painful because I'm seeing how deep the indoctrination goes. Um, I mean I mean I know when I was misguided about what life was in my 20s, um, what I believed was the truth then was the truth as far as I was concerned, and it was hard to argue with me. I was pretty clever with my words and could be a dick. Um, I won a lot of arguments, and the people that didn't want to argue just backed out of the conversation. And uh, and I think about that. I think about at times in life how wrong I was, and but how convinced I was that I was right, and I believed it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have argued it. But how? I mean, when does that change for a person? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, maybe I've been lucky to experience the tumultuous life that I have at certain points, and um, had to endure the things that I did. Maybe that's luck. Maybe that's a blessing. It might. The Buddhists say be grateful for your pain. You know what I mean? So it could be. It's been a blessing, but only because I've been able to navigate it, and because I admitted when it was time to admit that things just weren't working. I did that, and then I learned from it, and I grew. But 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 this system, it's for liars by liars 100%. Like it's if you so Reddit, you want to see a meltdown, and these are the people that never get held accountable for. This is just what they do in the system. They lie about everything. They lie about everything, every fucking thing. Like it's for the most part, it's a lie. Everything. They're not upholding truth, justice, liberty for all. They're doing something else. They're profiting. Every once in a while they might have to go the route of the Constitution, but they don't give a shit. And these attorneys, these little weasel ass attorneys, man, go on Reddit. I had to make a report to the FBI Cyber Division for the online attacks. There's been a lot, and them trying to bait me into incarceration on a misdemeanor warrant for a fucking misdemeanor criminal contempt of court, which was fabricated. The judge knows it because he listened to the confession. He's trying to say that his judgment is based on the fact that my evidence wasn't admitted to the court properly. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. You listened to that, motherfucker. You heard everything. You heard that fucking. You heard my ex-partner confess to bank fraud and identity theft on the stand. He said it. He's like when you guys hear this whole thing, it's epic. Like it's sad. I mean, but it was right there. Like the attorney got dismantled, destroyed, slumped over, pouting like a baby when I walked out of that courtroom. For 3 hours, I delivered truth to that courtroom, and the judge ignored it all. So anyway, the rumors that I planted, just by being honest about my past and whatever, maybe exaggerating it a little bit, um, they're still they've stuck to those. Now I didn't say anything about meth use or what's the other? Oh, well, so they know I have PTSD. I'm very open about everything. Anything I've ever done in my past. You can watch the podcast. I made a movie about it. There's a book coming out. You don't have to go very far other than me to find information. But based on that, they went to maybe it's because it's the one with the stigma. but meth use, you can't hide. You know what I mean? Like meth head. What the way they've framed it as it's the same disparaging and defaming they say I'm doing. That's what they've been doing. This is gaslighting like a motherfucker. That's what the system does. Is it gaslights like a motherfucker. And I know Patrick's dumb enough to believe his own lies. He always has. So he's an easy patsy. But if you go on Reddit, like, you know who they are immediately because they're saying stupid shit like schizophrenic. Number one, you dumb motherfucker. I have PTSD. So, and I said in the documents and testified that they infringed on that. Because they did. They had intimate details of my therapy. They were expecting me to break. That was their whole gig. They thought I was going to break, wind up institutionalized. Look, if they're lucky I'm on the healing side because there probably would have been a handful of fatherless children if I hadn't done the work to get on the other side of this, because it would have definitely broke me. But it didn't, and that's because I put the work in. But they're over there still wanting to believe that the breakdown's coming. It's not. And so in order to try to prepare, maybe this is how the system works. They tell a bigger lie, and they just keep trying to drive it in. So you'll see them saying schizophrenic. Obviously, I'm not schizophrenic. Obviously, not even close. But you're infringing on an entire mental health community to try to convince me that I am, maybe? Or do you think you're going to convince anybody in the world that's true? But they say it nonstop. So you know it's them, because nobody else in my life has ever said it. I've had tons of therapists that have never said it because it's not true. It's obviously not true. The method thing, obviously not true. I don't care what I've used in my life. I don't care. But I'm not it's obvious. Now, I mean, you know, if you don't know me, I do get excited when I'm talking. You know what I mean? I got the eyes, I got the mannerisms, and but that's still not a method. You know what I mean? So what the point I'm making is logic is completely gone in this system. Like the entire case, there's zero logic to everything they did. But they still think that they're getting away with it. I'm in the Supreme Court. They accepted my case within 48 hours while I simultaneously submitted to the Court of Appeals. Obviously, my case has constitutional merit. Obviously. I highly doubt the Supreme Court took it on for show. Like, they don't have to. They could just brush it aside like everybody, you know what I mean? Like, what are they thinking? Do they think they're going to break me? Like, that's what I don't get. So I have, you know, there was a theory that I had, and it's held true. If you can stand in your truth, in the face of lies, right? Despite the consequences that will be inevitable in a society promulgated on lies, eventually the lies are going to tell on themselves. They have to. See, the truth is the truth, whether anybody wants the truth to be the truth or not. And that's where I stand. Everything I say is the truth, 100%, backed by facts. And I have more facts that I'm going to give to the Supreme Court, but I'm saving the big ones. You know what I mean? I got to keep drawing them out, and then, I mean, it's just me over here, so I got to do a little Conor McGregor on him, but Muhammad Ali, a little classier. I'm not bagging on Conor, but he did his thing. So I keep drawing them out. They keep giving me evidence, and then they keep committing crimes, like more crimes. Like they've been. I'm not getting into it, but if you go onto Reddit, you'll see a meltdown happening from people that never get held accountable. They're just used to doing this to people. They're used to lying about everything and getting away with it. While they say they're upholding truth, justice, liberty for all, it's a lie. They're doing nothing to uphold that. They don't give a shit about our civil liberties. It's all about them and profit. So, look, the truth is the truth, whether you want it to be the truth or not. Lies, they have to justify their existence. If you're an unstoppable force of truth, in the face of lies, eventually the facade will disintegrate. It has to. because you can only talk so much. You can only speak so many lies before they blow up in your face, right? And that's where they are right now. So they don't have anything left. I've already made it to the highest court in Michigan. There's still another court left. If this were, for some odd reason, a show that they were doing to impress me, or, I mean, they only take a little over 1,000 cases, I think, a year. Almost nobody is self-represented. And again, somebody was telling me it's usually a 6 to 8 month wait for them after they accepted my application within 48 hours. Wow. Simultaneously in the Court of Appeals. And I had, what are you fucking thinking? But the point of the whole thing is, I don't expect anybody to do what I did. It's fucking grueling, right? And I don't wish it on anybody. And I hope that what I'm doing here can make it so that people don't have to. Maybe the next person who puts themselves out here like this. There's probably other people. I don't know. Hopefully I meet them, because we need us all. But hopefully it makes it a little bit easier for the next person that wants to simply stand up for truth. That's all I did from day one. They've lied from day one. It's been allowed from day one in this system that's supposed to stand on the foundation of truth, justice, liberty for all. In the judiciary that is purported to be the gatekeeper to our civil liberties. Truth, justice, liberty for all can't exist in a place where profit is the priority. We the people we're products. And to my black brothers and sisters, and people from Detroit, minorities, but I was also impoverished, so I saw a little bit of this. But my mom got us across 8 Mile, and that's what they mean when they say white privilege. It doesn't mean that we're privileged. It means that there's, just by the skin tone, when you get into different areas, you get treated differently. You just do. I know, because I grew up in a black neighborhood, and then I crossed over, and then I learned if I cleaned up my hood slang, that I could get away with a lot. You know what I mean? So it's to people that have to fight for their basic human rights, which black people in America have, gay people in America have, women in America. Ain't that fucked up? Truth, justice, liberty for all. This shit was signed in 1776. And if we go through the laundry list of people who had to fight for basic human rights in this fucking country, it's fucking insane. We've been lied to. And it's going to take more than just me, obviously, to stand up to this system. We know what it's supposed to be. It's nowhere near that. How much more abuse are we going to let? Do we need, what type of writing does Auschwitz need to be written on the wall for us to finally? What I'm doing is, it's preemptive, right? Typically, we don't move until we suffer great harm as humans. We really got to be in a concentration camp. You know what I mean? For us to finally, oh my God, wake the fuck up. If you're not, and if you're woke, not the fuck all that pop culture shit, not the skip pop culture, all the fucking mass market shit, whatever, the identity politics. If you're awake, if you've been awake and well, do something about it. Do something. That's different for everybody, right? And maybe it's as simple as questioning, right? If you're somebody who believes in the American dream, it's definitely the American dream, but it wasn't our dream, their dream. They stole that from us, day one. So if, at least do that. Question. because I've never been crazy. That's one thing I've never been. I've also never been a liar, never been a thief. Most people know that when they speak to me, it's eye to eye. They can make a deal with a handshake. If I make a mistake, I own it. Typically quicker than somebody catches me. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even say hard on me. I believe I own my fallibility. I own my fallibility, and I believe that truth is the most powerful. It's the most powerful force in the universe, but it's buried. But it's only buried to the extent that we don't believe it has power. You know what I mean? Like, we know lies have power, we see it. There's way more of us than there are liars. Way more. That's indoctrination. That's what that's the meltdown that's happening right now. They really believe that they should win this. Like, I don't know how this shitbag attorney puts his kids to bed at night and looks at himself in the mirror when he knows what a piece of shit he is. This is what he does for a living. And he sells you, when you come into his office, that he's representing you. He's not representing you. He's doing what he can. He's going to get the best deal for him and his firm first. That comes first. And if you can be included in that, great. You know, because they want their high dollar clients. But they're not serving you. They're serving you to that corporate system that profits from your suffering. Question it. If you don't want to believe it, question it. That's something, right? Because if we can question it collectively, constructively, no conspiracy theories, just look at the facts. The system propped upon truth, justice, liberty for all. Where's the truth, justice, and liberty for all? For anyone. It's not in the courtroom. That's all corporate protocol, bylaw, legalese disguised as law, with profit being the desired outcome. You got to question it. And we have to not alienate those in the system who have a reverence for those founding documents, who were tricked into the system as a young person, wanting to do something great for the world, wanting to help people, and then they get into this piece of shit, and then not the entire system, the entire system's not completely flawed. It's those that have adhered to the corrupt parts of it, which is the bulk of it. That's fucked it up. If we go back to the Declaration of Independence, verbatim, Constitution, verbatim, except for the last part, where it's about paying politicians and whatever. But if we go back to that, we're good. We the people. That means all the people. Day one, slavery. Profiting from suffering. Day one. These British imperialists, they were sitting there waiting for this war-torn nation that they knew all the founding fathers, they were going to go broke. They were going to come in with their money, which they did. They were going to manipulate their will, sell us the dream, and then do what they wanted. And they have. And George Washington, he predicted this. he knew it was coming. He said, if we don't free our slaves, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, I fear that the British imperialists, and this is about taxation, the British imperialists are going to rule over us like the men, what it is, Negroes, I think he said Negroes, that we rule over with such arbitrary sway. So he was saying, free the slaves. Because if we don't, we're going to become the slaves. There was a moral dilemma that they knew. They knew there was a moral dilemma. Thomas Jefferson showed up. Showed up with the first draft of the Declaration of Independence and got dismantled for having I don't know if it was a sentence or two, denouncing slavery. Got beat up for 3 days, not physically, but beat up for 3 days by those who wanted to keep it. And he went back to Virginia. He didn't run again. He was like, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? I don't know if he said those words, but they don't tell you that in school. They don't tell you that. They want us to be conflicted with one another. So they don't tell you that everything you see in those documents, the founding documents, it's based on a moral dilemma. And that's what we find ourselves in right now. Like the founding fathers, they did something no politician even to this day does. They owned their flaws. They owned their fallibility. And they put tenets in there to protect themselves from them, to protect the republic, which they loved dearly, the people, from them possibly coming corrupt. It's never happened in human history that I know of. Maybe I got to brush up on history, but it hasn't happened since. Now we have, everyone's a fucking liar, and it's just what they do. It's accepted. Man. If they're not doing what those founding documents say they're supposed to be doing, it's our job to stand against it. It's not just our right, it's our job. And I just pray that what I'm doing makes it a little bit easier for the next person. Especially my kids, because our kids definitely don't deserve this fucking shit. What they're walking into now is fucking disgusting. Dystopia, perpetual war. I said it was going to be quick. I lied. I said maybe. I said maybe it'll be quick. Maybe it won't. I said I'll try. This is my quick. I got a lot to say. I'm blown away still. I'm living it. But you know what? You ask any of my friends from the hood, man, like, you know, I told you. I told you. Yeah, and that's true. You know, and we hear it in a lot of hip hop and it's true. And what I know, see, I'm a white man in America fighting for his civil rights. I'm the last stop, right? So what I know for a fact is race means nothing to them. They use it to pit us against one another. We're all expendable to this system. All of us. They kill our kids in wars. Don't care. It's global now, you know. We're the last stronghold. We're the last stronghold. We're either going to be the land of dreams, or we're going to be the worst nightmare humanity has ever known. We got the nukes. So if you love your kids, pay attention to what I'm doing. Because there's something, I don't know what it is yet, and I don't know what's going to happen in the Supreme Court, and I don't know if it winds up in the highest court in the land. I don't know where it goes, you know, after that. But I know that what I've done well, it's not done yet, but the premise of the argument, I got him. You don't risk what these people have risked to try to shut me up for a misdemeanor criminal contempt. It just doesn't happen. You don't put a $50,000 bond on somebody for a misdemeanor for criminal contempt. Doesn't happen. You don't ignore testimony in your own courtroom. A confession. A confession. You don't do that unless you got something to hide. Because all I did was tell the truth. So I'm tired as hell. I got to finish this article. I just wanted to get that off my chest. But if you want some comic relief, go to Reddit. I don't even know what my screen name is. I don't pay much. I'm just on it because it's actually a pretty cool thing. I find Jordan Peterson's thing is pretty cool. I didn't know that all that stuff was there. So anyway, I think fucking message me. I'll send you a link if you want to go on it. But the motherfuckers that usually, so they're gaslighting me, and you're watching them collapse under their own gaslighting. It's pretty fucking funny. It's you gotta laugh at something, right? All right, I need to get some fucking sleep. I'm tired. Love you guys, and the struggle's real, man. It's real. You know what's not real? Meth, motherfucker. If I had some meth, I wouldn't be so fucking tired. I'd also have some fucking teeth missing. Those pearly whites. Cinematic as fuck. I'm not even fucking tired. I am tired. All right, man. I'm out. Now I'm just talking because I'm gonna talk myself to sleep. I love you guys. I'm out. Like my pictures? I put some pictures up. Fucking out of here. Wait till you see this article tomorrow, though. It's a bad motherfucker. Bad. I'm really proud of this one. Peace.